Terima kasih Sasha. So seperti yang disebut tadi, I'm representing Magic, which is an agency. So I'm not going to be talking today dari segi macam mana Kamaru cerita dia punya AI punya benda dengan drone, dengan Yusro cerita pasal the event management business and so forth. So I'm not going to touch on AI, even though both of them touch on AI. But dalam konteks, sebelum saya cerita sikit dalam konteks macam mana usahawan ataupun peniaga-peniaga nak go untuk pasaran di luar sana, well, short of waiting for the slides again to come up, I think dari segi DNA Magic dan dari segi nama pun, kita positionkan diri kita sebagai pusat kreativiti dan inovasi untuk usahawan, right? And I think just now Yusro dah tee up sikit, kata dia akan berkongsi dari segi agensi-agensi yang secara terus membantu usahawan dari segi perkembangan kepasaran di luar sana. But apa yang saya nak sentuh dari segi konteks Magic, sebagai pusat kreativiti dan inovasi, and I like also Kamaro's presentation just now dari segi 6 model tadi itu. What we do on some aspects bila kita berinteraksi dengan usahawan yang mungkin ada idea baru ataupun baru menjalankan perniagaan adalah untuk fikir dari peringkat permulaan apakah plan expansion dia walaupun dia tak gerak lagi ke sana, right? Because it affects macam mana you punya product design, you punya business model, dan bagaimana nak berkembangkan and macam mana you nak replicatekan business you kepada pasaran-pasaran lain, ya. Sebab you don't want to do 2 kali kerja, dah design the business in the country in a certain way, and then sekali tengok cara you nak skalakan perniagaan you ke pasaran luar, kena do a overhaul dari segi pendekatannya, right? So when we do early stage intervention, right, kita pastikan dari segi satu refinement idea tu, dan kita cuba pastikan usahawan juga jelas dari segi pelbagai approach untuk replicatekan perniagaan tu di pasaran luar, right? Ideally, and I tell my team dekat Magic dan juga kepada usahawan di luar sana adalah kita nak semua jenis usahawan to be exponential. And bila kita cakap exponential, to some extent, Kamaru punya example tadi, and the growth rate that you're doing is exponential, right? Cuma secara lazimnya selalunya bila orang fikir dari segi high growth startup ataupun exponential entrepreneur, right, they always relate directly kepada tech startup, right? Philosophically, I would like to be able to throw a challenge out there, and also a challenge to my team, that tak kira you meniaga apa, right? You need to have a mindset of being an exponential entrepreneur. The minute you have that, right, and to me, and when we can develop on the conversation lagi selepas ini, right, to me that is the secret of macam mana you nak keluar ke pasaran global. Kalau you tak ada pemikiran exponential, kalau Kamaru tak fikir daripada, memang dia ejas lah, tapi I'm quite sure dari segi masa hari pertama dia berniaga, dia dah fikir dah dia nak tapau satu dunia, right? So you got to constantly think macam mana you nak tapau the whole world, even though you're starting from ground zero in Malaysia. Kebanyakan usahawan saya tengok, bila bersembang di peringkat permulaan, dia punya mindset tu, tak apalah, kita mula meniaga pelan-pelan lah dulu dekat Malaysia, dan kita tengoklah macam mana nak kembang ke tempat lain, right? That mindset needs to shift, because if you think that way, kan, sebagai usahawan kat luar sana, for you to be able to push yourself, for you untuk nak fikir cara pendekatan dan sebagainya, you will not get there fast enough. And speed di zaman sekarang ni, fortunately or unfortunately, is super important, right? So again, bila saya sebut exponential entrepreneur, kalau pergi dekat US, Silicon Valley dan sebagainya, dia selalu relate kepada technology entrepreneurs, right? Pada lensa Magic, right, untuk kita tak kira you sama ada tech entrepreneur ataupun tidak, our goal, drive, motivation is to see whether any businesses can be an exponential business ke tidak. Kita cuma kena cari pendekatan yang bersesuaian, elemen yang bersesuaian, model yang bersesuaian, so that you can achieve the success that these guys have, right? So I'll stop there for now. I will not run through this, and we can have a conversation kalau nak cerita pasal Magic ke apa semua. But again, I'd rather have that interaction dengan audience dekat sini, dengan audience di TV dan sebagainya, so that kita boleh bersembang lebih, and hopefully ia lebih tepat kepada cita rasa para penonton pada hari ini.
Yang pertama, terima kasih kepada para panelis kami pada malam ini, juga terima kasih kepada para penonton untuk bersama kami pada malam ini, dan tidak lupa juga kepada penaja lokasi ODC. Kami kembali semula kepada pengerusi majlis.
Baik, maaf di atas masalah teknikal sebentar tadi. Baik, seterusnya majlis diserahkan semula kepada moderator bagi sesi kedua. Dipersilakan Syasha Jamal untuk sesi kedua anda.
Terima kasih pengerusi majlis. Baiklah, untuk sesi yang seterusnya kita ada beberapa soalan lagi untuk ditujukan kepada para panelis. Jadi soalan yang pertama saya ingin tujukan kepada saudara Kamarul. Boleh kongsikan dengan kami bagaimana pengalaman saudara berjaya menembusi pasaran antarabangsa?
Expansion ni sebenarnya bukan senang. I mean, it looks easy. I mean, there's a lot of challenges that we have to go through. But I think the first, there are two things yang kami buat that enable us to do this. Number satu is ignore the naysayer. Right? And number dua is don't do what other people are doing. Okay? I mean, that is the real enabler for us, one of the enabler that allow us to do this. Kalau nak kata, there's a lot of people say, why don't you just focus in Malaysia? So in our case, we felt that apa yang kita dah develop in Malaysia ni is already world class. We are at a stage that we should be able to go outside. So kita try satu market. When we tried this market in Australia, we started in Australia, and the reception was really good. So daripada Australia, we went to Singapore. Daripada Singapore, kita pergi Dubai, to the Middle East, and the rest is history. So the challenges was sebenarnya every country yang kita pergi itu memang different. So that is why kita kena ada various different approach untuk all the countries yang kita pergi. So bagaimana is perseverance lah. Perseverance tu is high in the list lah. A lot of challenges, a lot of solving problem again and again and again. But alhamdulillah, you persevere, you keep on doing it, you learn, of course kena banyak sabar, But of course we believe in our product. That was the reason that really allowed us to do this in such a very short period of time. And of course, us being recognized globally dengan produk kita ni, that helps a lot. So kita dapat banyak interest dari so many countries around the world that nak collaborate dengan kita. Sekarang ini pun walaupun kita expand so fast, kita pun quite limited in our resources. So now we are fixing that problem. We are, boleh kata kita interview ni almost every week. We are hiring people and we are looking at other avenues. We are looking at, in some countries we are even looking at guna franchise model. We are looking at in some countries, of course, acquisition is very important for us because bila kita acquire, that's a very fast mode of satu acquiring leadership. Number dua, acquiring new technology as well yang boleh value add to our business as well. So far kita dah buat 2 acquisition, there's a lot more coming lagi insyaAllah. Right.
Okay, jadi jika Encik Kamarul telah memberitahu yang do not do what other people are doing and perseverance are very important as well. Okay, jadi saudara Yusno, do you have anything to add on that?
Okay, bagi saya ada dua. Yang pertama, kalau at the stage of startup masa kita last time is that we from day one we have the intention of going global, yeah. So apa yang kita buat ialah kita look at partners, yeah. It might not be a good way to start with, but when we started to find partners, that's where I find bigger partners who are bigger than you, yeah. So meaning that you're not partnering with another startup lah, because that will be like 1 + 1 becomes 2 kan. But if you 1 + 1 another big guy, then you becomes maybe 10, 20, those kind of things. So we look for people like IBM, because we are a tech company, so we work with IBM, we work with Microsoft, and we even got the opportunity to go till Canada by partnering with Microsoft, because Microsoft was selecting the best of the best from Malaysia, brought them to Canada, display what we have to do, and we get to meet the senior executives at Microsoft to share what we have basically developed in Malaysia. So that is one of the opportunities lah. But yeah, nampak best. But yeah, there's always but, because what first looks as a bright future, but when distance, especially when you are a startup, then you need to start figuring out how can you follow up or be consistent in that market. So this is where I see a lot of companies, they're not to say fail, tapi they are not sustainable. Meaning that dia macam touch and go concept. Kan, you nampak menarik sana, pergi. Tapi nak close deal will take time, ya. Especially if you are in B2B, ya. B2B, E2E, not B2C. B2C, like you are selling something else that can be done transacting online. But when you are in a B2B, you need to meet the clients a lot. So you need to travel consistently. So you need to be present in that market. So once we realize that, then we start to select markets that are relevant, markets that are more suitable to the product that we have, and then consistently focus on that market by sending people, by being present. So if I take an example, kalau dekat Indonesia, kan, if you go there, it's not, I mean, you will always get people who say, yeah, you are fantastic, everything is good, kan, we love your product, but that's it. Kan? That's how they are being nice to you, kan? So you have to actually become an Indonesian. Kan? So we have to travel like every 2 weeks once, every month once, pergi, understand the culture. Even you look for the Chamber of Commerce, Malaysian Chamber of Commerce, you talk to the people who have built in businesses in Indonesia for many years, that's what they're going to tell you. Be there, become an Indonesian. So I suppose the rule applies if you're going to any of the other markets out there. Kan, trying to be committed and consistent in the market. Jangan touch and go lah. Touch and go ni memang the best. Kan, nampak sana, pergi sana, okay, balik. Lepas tu tak ada apa-apa, kan? And then you have invested so much money on that. So maybe that's how I see how we started to break into the international market lah. Okay?
So I think Yusra dengan Kamarul raised very important points. But kalau I sambung sikit daripada what Yusra was talking about, a lot of startups bila kita sembang, dia nombor satu, walaupun saya cakap tadi niat tu kena ada, right? Tapi bila dah pasang niat tu, nak kena make sure that your prep is there also, right? When I say prep is nak pergi Indom, macam Yusra cakap tadi, kalau kata niat saja, tapi dari segi budgeting and the frequency apa semua, you are not ready for that, right? Or you are not structuring yourself to make sure that ada sistem sokongan yang macam tu, then it's going to be challenging. Nombor satu. Nombor dua, as much as government wants to help and support, because I'm still wearing a government hat per se, kalau your mindset is that kalau matrik tak tolong pi ni kan, apalah tak boleh, you're not going to make it also, right? Because matrik will only be able to support you in certain aspects. 3/4 of the things, right, is still coming from the entrepreneur. If you're reliant on government support purely, while it helps in terms of pushing that through, tapi kalau you're reliant on that, dia macam pasaran global tu terlalu apa ni? But if you're relying entirely on government support in order for you to make that particular market, kan, that's going to be challenging, right? The government support normally becomes that final push or that catalyst for you to go. Tapi you kena sediakan. So kalau ada dia punya grant ke apa pun, you need to prepare that, you know, if you know tadi cakap kata multiple trips across. And yang tu kadang-kadang kita terlepas pandang. Kita terlepas pandang sebab selalunya usahawan fikir, aku pergi sekali, orang yang excited, lepas tu boleh close deal dah lepas tu. Right? And the reality is that, and when I was an entrepreneur, so pergi menjual ke US dulu, sama juga. Every single person yang you jumpa akan cakap, oh my God, your product's awesome. Mak Saleh American pula kan. Awesome memanjang. So kita pun tengok, weh, boleh ni. Tapi lepas tu nak kena travel pergi balik daripada sini dengan US, walaupun we were able to raise funding, it is challenging. Right? So again, you know, while saya sebut tadi dari segi persediaan niat is penting, right? Tapi dari segi what I mean by persediaan tu is all those things, right? Building up the network is one thing, but market development, as Kamarul and he will say, nak cari partner yang sesuai macam nak cari isteri lah juga kan. Nak cari yang sesuai itu bukannya senang. So sometimes you would leverage through partners, sometimes you leverage through a whole bunch of things across. But even though you so shared a model, Kamarul shared all the 6 models, untuk semua usahawan kat luar sana, you've got to reflect back what model suits your perniagaan. Right? Orang lain boleh kongsi macam-macam model. Right? And you tak boleh juga ambil bulat-bulat whatever that they are sharing here today. Right? Dia punya key essence boleh. But you've got to contextualize that juga kepada jenis perniagaan you. Only then it makes a meaningful sense in terms of trying to move across. Yeah?
Okay. Seterusnya, saudara.
Kencang lah kalau nak.
Okay, saudara Kamarul, seperti yang kita ketahui, drone ialah satu teknologi yang baru tetapi sesuatu yang ramai orang sudah mahir. Jadi bagaimana dapat meyakinkan pelanggan di negara lain untuk menggunakan Aerodyne sedangkan tentunya ramai juga syarikat di negara mereka sendiri yang pandai menerbangkan drone?
Sebenarnya kita kata kita drone company itu sebenarnya trick gitu. Kita sebenarnya bukan drone company. Bunyi seksi drone tu. Okay, sebenarnya we are solution company. Okay, sebenarnya what makes our scaling difficult is sebenarnya kami we are more of a consulting company because every enterprise, every businesses that we talk to sebenarnya is all about customizing our solution to their specific needs. So kita punya gestation period is actually very long. Between 6 months, ada yang sampai 1 year. Tapi once we nail it, we get 3 years, 5 years contract. You know, monthly delivery. We do basically what we are doing is digital transformation. So in fact, this is what differentiates us dengan other drone company. Other drone company is all about flying drone, about capturing data, about providing some analytics, and that's it. But in the case of Aerodyne, no, we provide total solutions for the client. And then most big organization already have, for example, dia punya own ERP punya system, dia punya own financing system, their own contracting system dan sebagainya. So our drone solution, even though we are using drone to do the data capture, to do the analytics, the AI that's on the drone and so on, but kita punya solution talks directly to dia punya SAP, talks directly to dia punya Oracle, for instance. So this become a seamless optimization exercise for the client. So that is actually our differentiating factor. Just 3 hari before Raya, I was in London and I met, I guess I shouldn't mention the name, but I met one of the largest proponents of drone technology globally. This is a consulting group and they have met so many drone companies around the world. And they actually invited us. So we went there. I met them, but I said, my Hari Raya is just 3 days. So I can only give you 1 day. I'm flying back the next day so that I can be back on time, is it? So anyway, to cut long story short, so when we presented our case, you saw the list of 20 companies just now, top 20, we are number 7. And they've actually, because we are one of the last, because I was traveling. Sekarang ni part of the challenge earlier, I actually spent almost 3 weeks in a month abroad. Then kat Malaysia ni seminggu je sekarang ni sebenarnya. So anyway, when we were there, so they have met other drone company. So they know what other drone companies do. So when they saw us, I hope they were not being nice lah. Okay. So when they saw our solutions, they were like really flawed. They said, we have not come across a drone company yang dah cakap. A lot of people are talking about using AI implementation on drone. Tapi when they look at our solution, we are already using it. And we are using it to solve real problem. So when you ask me, the differentiating factor is that. Because kita are not really flying drone. It's not about piloting. And I can tell you one trade secret. But you are live, right? But never mind lah. Okay? Never mind lah. 3 years from now, there's not going to be any drone pilot needed. So all of these drones are going to be fully autonomous. They are going to be on the ground. We control it through the cloud and even manage through AI and sebagainya. So even right now, we are already doing all this planning. We have hundreds of pilots globally working with us right now. So what will happen to them 3 years down the road? Okay, so we already have plans for them as well. So guys, if you are watching, don't worry. we've got this covered. All right. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Jadi saudara Yusno, kalau ingin memasuki pasaran yang baru, yang mana lebih baik? Membuka anak syarikat sendiri, buka joint venture dengan rakan kongsi tempatan ataupun menggunakan wakil atau ejen?
Soalan yang menarik. There's no right or wrong to that because it really depends on which market you are going, which country, the rules, regulations in that country. I give you an example. Singapore is super easy to set up a company. Right? It's like you can open a $2 company in Singapore. So you just set up our own company there, open a virtual office, there you go. You're a Singaporean company. Done. But if you're trying to do the same, macam dekat Indonesia, whoa. In our industry, for us to control about 75% of the shares, we need at least $1 million, yeah? $1 million to set up a company. Foreign company, not 100% owned, because you can only own about 75% in our industry. Different industry has a different ownership. So then you have to ask yourself, whether is that an investment that you are willing to do, or rather start with a lower sort of like a riskier kind of mode lah. Whether you find a wakil ke, whether you find a rep office ke. So it really boils back to mana nak pergi, whether you understand the market, right? And this is where, macam Ashran juga mention tadi, that a lot of government agencies here can help you with this information. Of course, internet you boleh search kan. Tapi if you really malas nak search, Google kan, there's Matrix kan. Matrix has a wealth of information. So just go to Matrix, become a Matrix member. So I'm now becoming a Matrix spokesperson kan. Because I really have to thank them for whatever that they have done for us. Yeah, in terms of opening the doors, assisting us dekat in Frankfurt, in Australia. Whenever we go, even last one I think we went to Frankfurt. We even launched our facial recognition software with the German punya audience inside Matrix punya office for free, FOC. Because the office is basically being paid by the government of Malaysia, right? And the purpose is actually for us to go out and use. So kalau kita tak guna, I think it's really a waste. For we not fully utilizing the facilities that are given to us by the government. So rakan-rakan kat luar tu silalah contact Matrix, approach the TC, whichever market that you want to go. And I think that has been one life, not many of the reasons why we are able to break into the market out there. Okay.
Kalau kami ingin tahu, adakah mesti mempunyai modal yang banyak untuk keluar negara? Adakah lebih baik kalau sesuatu startup itu menunggu hingga dapat funding, contohnya dari venture capital, sebelum layak untuk mengembangkan pasaran?
Boleh jawab ya dan tidak to that question actually, right? Again, don't want to sound macam disclaimer ataupun klise ke apa semua. It really depends on jenis perniagaan, yeah. And but what's important, kalau tak raise money pun daripada venture capital, number one, bila nak masuk ke satu pasaran tu, you need to know the gestation period. You need to know apa yang you kena buat, right? And then work backward, sama ada duit sendiri itu cukup ke tidak from ni. Because some people can run organic business, you're doing good business dekat Malaysia, you can take a portion of that and reinvest if you're trying to go on a certain ni. But if you're going at the rate and speed, which I encourage most people to do at the rate and speed of Kamarul, right? Then you got to make sure that what's your baseline revenue base, and then whether you need extra money ke tidak. So the question is actually for you to answer. And it can really be, I know everyone is saying that it all depends, because it really depends, right? If you were to say one way or the other, it would be unfair for you guys to process that also. But I cannot emphasize enough dari segi planning and reality, right, of the kind of time or money yang you kena invest in a particular market. Appreciating the nuances of your sector, right, dalam pasaran tu sendiri. Macam itu cakap tadi lah, kalau nak masuk kat Indonesia, in his space, dia punya lenggok lain. Right? Nak masuk Kamarul for another market, lenggok dia mungkin lain sikit. And tiap-tiap pasaran mungkin berbeza. The other thing I want to contextualize is that even Malaysian government and a lot of people have been talking from an ASEAN market, if I just take ASEAN per se, as one huge opportunity and so forth per se. Right? On one hand, bagus, right? But on the other hand, the ASEAN market is not as homogeneous macam, say, a US market yang, that cuts across the board. So you need to realize that also, right? You need to realize that, and kadang-kadang there's a slight tweak. Same core product, masuk pasaran berbeza, even just in ASEAN. Mungkin nak kena adjust sedikit dari segi pendekatan dia. It's not necessarily just replicating ni. So to your question, dia memang vary lah, right? Cuma peringkat permulaan, especially kalau baru mula ataupun at the ideation stage, right? While you are refining the ideas, you kena ada bayangan, right? Macam mana you nak kembang. And you know, when we run our accelerator program, kan, kita select at least usahawan yang ada bayangan. Betul ke salah, lain cerita, right? Because there's really no right answer at the initial stage. Tapi kalau you ada bayangan, that means we know you have been thinking about it. Bila kita duduk bersembang, then there is a way to move forward. Tapi kalau tak ada bayangan pun, right, nak bersembang dia tak masuk alignment. Kan? So kena ada bayangan, kena ada nawaitu tu yang kata you nak go beyond Malaysia itself. I mean, both of them said that from day one, that mindset is that, right? And where they started, and then you kind of just build on from there. But again, there are a lot of strategies in terms of going about. You can go the non-capital route, you can go the capital route, but paling penting is understanding your business itself, understanding the pasaran. Because cara nak masuk ke pasaran ni, as you have heard from the other two panelists, right? You can slice and dice it in so many ways. Yeah? But it has got to make sense to your business. It's got to make sense in terms of the capital that you require. Ambil masa lama sangat, kadang-kadang lagi banyak duit in terms of market development. Bila cepat compress with the right business model, you can optimize you punya resources juga. So it is, so find the right support system, find the right mentors to be able to guide you also, right? And one of the things that we're exploring is to make sure that we have formed some partnerships around the region, yeah, where the partnerships helps find mentors to be attached to the startup ataupun entrepreneur in trying to penetrate the market. So it's not your trade shows and all these things. The partner that we have on the other market, cuma dia punya selection criteria dia tinggi sikit lah. Kalau trade show, ramai sekampung boleh pergi. Kan? Yang ni kalau nak masuk Vietnam, nak cari mentor yang connect with you, our partner there will select whether you can qualify or not for them to be worthwhile untuk cari a partner. So there's good and bad to that lah. Right? But based on what you hear, even both the gentlemen cerita tadi, is that your product has got to be awesome. Right? You've got to have the clarity that when you are designing a product, yeah, and the mental mode and mindset yang nak kena go global is then you will start benchmarking with players around the globe. Kalau awal-awal, I mean, if Kamarul does not design the product or the business, the services layer on top of it, right, untuk dia nak pergi jual kat negara lain, the other partners are going to say, I tengok company dekat negara I pun semua spacing je produk ni. But because of the X factor that he has, it will be the same thing with Evanescence, right? So usahawan kita, right, and why to some extent government kind of created Magic 4 years ago, right? And while everybody talks about creativity and innovation, every single country dalam dunia ni is promoting entrepreneurship, right? Kalau semua orang promote entrepreneurship, semua orang duduk macam ni nak jadi usahawan, semua orang fikir benda sama, semua orang tak fikir cara lain, then how are you going to make decent business going out? Right? And that's the reason why Magic was created. To ensure that bila you nak berniaga apa pun, food business ke, tech business ke, whatever it is, right? We push you to the boundaries, right? To make sure that globally, you can take a good strong position. So that tak kira lah model ke pasaran macam mana pun, you nak bersembang dengan orang kat luar sana, you can stand tall, and then they will be calling you like Encik Kamaro, please bagi us satu hari je untuk jumpa you.
Kami kembali semula kepada saudara Kamaro. Okay, sebagai contoh, jika seseorang itu ingin memulakan sesuatu bisnes dan mempunyai satu idea itu untuk membawa ke overseas market, tetapi idea tersebut telah ada banyak di negara tersebut, jadi bagaimana? Perlukah dia teruskan dengan idea tersebut ataupun keluar dengan idea yang baru?
You kena ada zing. You have to have your own differentiator. That's obvious. That's very obvious. Kalau you tak ada the thing that when people look, they rasa, woof, you know. Kalau tak ada benda tu, then don't do it. So I think that the core that needs to be done is your solutions really have to be world class. It has to be applicable elsewhere. But of course, kita kena as Sean mentioned just now as well, you need to customize it to every location because needs and requirements are different. So macam mana tu is actually you have to do a lot of thinking. You have to do a lot of thinking. You have to do a lot of strategizing. Do the analysis. You see what are your weaknesses. You know, I mean, what works in one country may not work in another country as well. So apa yang you dah ada kat sini sekarang ni pun tak semestinya bila you pergi dekat lain will work. So in our solution as well. That's why in our case, our core technology is the AI and the drone. But the solution yang kita provide in every single country, almost, I wouldn't say ada yang similarity, but every country would operate differently. So I'll give you one example. In most of the tempat yang kita buat, kita ni is DaaS, DaaS, Drone as a Service, plus SaaS. Yeah, software as a service. Software as a service is where the AI and all that. But we also have a situation where kita pergi to another country where they say, okay, we want to do DaaS part. I say, fine, you can do it. We can train you and all that. We have one client, very big customer. Employee dia pun dah tens of thousands of employee, you know. And they, by right in that country, because this is a first world country, right? Who is this company from Malaysia coming here to tell us what to do, you know, kind of thing. But when they see our solution, they even say such thing as, you know, you are new in this market. This is new vertical yang kita buat. You're only 6 months in the market. But other players here, you know, I mean, these are Germans, you know, we have been doing this for the past 3 years. You have only done this for 6 months and I really like your solution, you see. But dia orang tak nak juga guna kita punya solution in totality because of data security, because of the IP of the assets that they work on. So we say, yeah, fine. So herein lies another approach yang kita ambil. We have to be flexible. Kalau kita kata, no, we have to provide DaaS plus SaaS, then we will lose the job. I mean, this is a big project. We say, fine, let us work together with you so that we can protect your IP. But then you can take advantage of kita punya analytics, our advanced analytics and our AI. And they love it for us. You know? So kita have to be able to adapt our product. Mana-mana kita pergi pun, I think I'm sure the other panelists would also say the same thing, but I'm just sharing from our experience.
Let's add on a little bit. Dari segi adaptability dengan agility, right? You cannot downplay what Kamaru was saying just now. I went through a phase before that I was stubborn when I was running my own startup before. I had a commercial opportunity, tapi myself dengan my partners kata, no man, our business model is like this. We got to maintain it this way so that we can replicate and scale better. Kerja bodoh lah masa tu. Kan? Duit tak dapat tapi nak jalan pun tak ni. So the flexibility and agility, right, at the end of the day is really important, right? Kadang-kadang sebagai founders, product creators per se, you can be a little bit too taksub about the product. Because dah fikir banyak kan? Fikir macam-macam lah, you rasa this is the perfect model that you're going to push it through. But at the end of the day, having a client, walaupun dia lari sikit daripada ni, but you got to appreciate what Kamal was saying just now, what's your core value? If you know and realize apa you punya core value, right, then kalau customer tweak pun, you know that you're still delivering your core value. Kalau you tak jelas dengan your core value, you rasa mungkin, you know, your whatever they're asking for is lagi dari segi sasaran, whatever that they're putting across. So I just had to add on to what you're saying, because I think it's perfect and spot on.
Okay. Jadi
これ何かに出会うとみんな誰かと話したくなる。
見てください。どうした？Saya Syasha Jamal di Inspirasi untuk rancangan hari ini.
To view sexual topics. all and setting a bullish start for 2018.
Terbunuh manakala 4 lagi terselamat dalam tangan.
W dan anda akan bertemu. Terima kasih kerana masih
persepsi
Islamic finance has evolved over the past 3 decades into a viable and equitable financial system, benefiting communities and the environment. However, Islamic finance needs to challenge the status quo towards proving its value and stay relevant amidst the evolving nature of the global economy. Tune in to Islamic Finance, Channel 420.
My dream, Bruce Barrow said, to be able to work without fear.
What do you want me to do? Should I abort?
No.
I've told the team that they've got to start thinking from a sustainability point of view. And it's got to be thought of from beyond Malaysia too. So to some extent, I'm running magic like just any ventures across. I got to figure out a business model. But what I also tell my team is that I'm running magic like a social enterprise. I've got a social cause that we've got to run, which is country entrepreneur development, injecting creativity and innovation across. But we've got to figure out a financial model that doesn't suck from the government system directly, that comes out from other parts of the equation, that does not compete with other fellow, and that's the tricky bit, right? Because you're trying to help other entrepreneurs. So that balancing act, because to make money is probably an easy thing in my context, being a government agency, but to balance it off, to make money without killing the players that you're supposed to help out also, and be sustainable at the same time, it's a whole different ballgame at that end itself. But again, I concur with regards to the fear factor. But having said that then, I don't think, in the last 2 years we've achieved what we want to achieve yet. We're en route, right? But it's still a long way to go. And over the years, you just like any other ventures, you learn, you kind of reposition. You got to make sure that the team understands what is that singular goal. And for Magic, the singular goal is ensuring that entrepreneurs gets the revenue accelerated in the way that they want, gets investments if they require investments in the fastest way possible, and how can you do that in the best possible way through learning, through education, through whatever facilitation that's required.
Can I add a little bit on this topic? If you ask me whether I have achieved, I wanted to say yes. You know why? You should always, and this is my take to all the budding entrepreneurs as well, set yourself many milestones and objectives. If you set yourself an objective that is way too far ahead, you get very discouraged. So in my case, we had our annual targets. Of course, we have our master plan where we are going, right? So we achieve our targets. We achieve what we wanted to achieve, and we really wanted to just achieve this at that particular moment in time. But we have long-term plans, right? So if we achieve this, we say, now we are ready to go to the next level. We are ready to go into AI, for instance. We are ready to develop new things. Then we set another thing. So if you ask me whether we have achieved what we wanted to achieve, yes, we have achieved what we wanted to achieve today. But now we have a new target that we are going. And of course, if you ask me what is our target now, 2020, 50 or more countries, revenue of over 1 billion. Yeah. And that is actually achievable because the whole market size is 192 billion. We are ranked 7th already. So I keep telling my guys, do we want to do this or we want to be happy and complacent with what we have? See, this is now a new target for us. So now our thinking now becoming totally different. If previously as a startup, when we started, we always look at the bottom line. We always look at because we were self-funded, right? Luckily, through some magic, luckily, we were EBITDA positive from day one. We were cash flow positive from day one. We were making, basically we are positive from day one. But as we move along, then our target then became different. Even right now, going global for us meant we have to ditch that strategy. So now we have to invest more on R&D. We have to invest more on land grab globally. And that will require major funding. And I wanted to add also what the panelists earlier mentioned as well. We have agencies that are assisting us very well as well to this manner. When we had our Aerodyne Day in London in March with the assistance of Madrid and Malaysian High Commissioner as well. In August, we're going to be in Chile. Chile is actually our opening into South America. I don't look forward to the 50 hours flight time to get there, 50 hours journey one way, but the drive is there because we see that the response is really good. So, it is not my decision alone. We sat down with all our management committees. Are we ready to take on this next challenge and next target? See, the answer is yes. Okay, we just now set ourselves a new goal, so we have not achieved that one yet. Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, so his next question is it difficult to handle the budget in a business, and how do you handle it?
Definitely, especially when you when you are starting up with few founders or maybe solo founder again. So you definitely need to know a lot of things. That's where you get the right people with you. Yeah, that's where you start to find people in a certain backgrounds that you think you are not very good at. Yeah, and that's where the people skills come in. That's where you sell your vision. So I always tell my team that the fifth thing that we always have to do is to sell, even though you're not a salesperson. So you are actually selling every single day. And especially as a founder, you are actually selling the ideas, the vision, the goals, yeah? So this is where we started to find people who are very good in sales, marketing, right? And then in finance, in HR, yeah, tech. I'm a bit fortunate because I came from a technical background, so I'm quite strong in that area. So, yeah, in a way, it's good and bad. Being a technical founder, right? So to answer the question is that it is hard. It's not easy. Yeah, nothing is easy when you are starting up. But as you are pushing yourself through, keep selling. Keep selling, keep meeting more people. That's what I learned.
All right. So his next question is, what's the most difficult part in starting a business or running a business? Sadar Ashram, you can take this one.
What's the most what, sir?
The most difficult part in running a business.
Managing people. Other things are relatively controllable. People not so easy to control. You naturally got to inspire this, and there's always variations that happen throughout the journey, right? As a founder, you may believe in the roadmap per se, but if you're not able to then, as Kamara said, articulate back, bring the team to have that common vision, then mood swings will happen. And then you get distracted as a founder of a company to kind of manage those things across. So to me, that's the most difficult part in any business agencies or any organization for that matter in that sense. But having clarity in terms of where the roadmap is and have that clarity transcended down to every single team member. So as you guys are, if you're new and you're recruiting team members, right, it's a very important aspect to ensure that they appreciate and understand your journey because the journey will be tough. And you need everyone to be as supportive as possible, right? A very important ingredient with regards to managing teams.
All right, and his last question is, how much cost do you need in the process of starting a business? This one, Saudara Kamarul.
Fortunately for us, how much cost is needed to do customization? We anticipated this from day one. So when we develop our technology, we develop this in parcel or boxes so that we can actually easily link what is needed for a particular client. So that actually helps us a lot. And in fact, this is the one that allows us to have that fluidity to adapt to changing requirements. I mean, this was something that we pre-planned from day one. So we felt that we knew, because like I said, I mean, we don't sell physical drone, we don't even sell app or whatever, you know. So what we are doing is we knew that different people would have different problems in running their organization. But what are the ingredients to solve this problem? The ingredients are increasing efficiency. So which means that you want to capture the data in the most efficient way. You want to have more and more automation. And we also know that people would have different ways or methods of them running their organization. So what we do then, that we also make this very modular, so to speak. So when we need to do the customization, actually it's not... of course, it's painful. I mean, it still takes a lot of effort. It still takes some effort to do it, especially on the processing part and all that, because we have to introduce new team. Then we have to look at different kind of data sets. But it helps if you already anticipate this and pre-plan. So as far as cost is concerned, innovation will help a lot. So I'll give you one interesting example. Yeah. Daily, in the course of managing an asset here in Malaysia, we take over 6,000 thermal images daily. Now, each of these images, thermal, yeah, I mean, this is infrared images, and each of these images will take between 2 to 5 minutes to process. Can you just imagine the efforts that's needed to do this? I mean, some clients don't need this. I mean, here we have a client that requires these solutions. So what is the solution? What is the enabler? It took us almost 6 months to develop an AI to automate this processing process. So from taking us so long to process this data, now it's just a matter of putting in the data into the software. We go and have our dinner or whatever, 20 minutes later, all 6,000 is complete. Instead of collectively, we are talking about, let's say, 5 hours, almost 200 hours of processing manually. So now you just put it into that black box software, and in 20 minutes we've got it done. So the enabler will make it bearable. Of course, you have to invest. So we had to invest in 6 months of development, but we use technology to solve this problem.
Just quickly add to that, just to answer your question in terms of cost. Just quick advice I would say is that just make sure you are able to be cash positive as soon as possible. People say it's the break-even point, those kind of things, but I think for some startups, for some weird reasons nowadays, they are always looking at investment, valuation, but you don't even understand the basic concept of cash flow positive. Yeah, so you're being pumped into millions of money, spend, and then you don't get results. You're being pushed to deliver harder, and you're concerned with raising more funds. I think both of us know how long the focus will be from your business, right? Raising funds is not an easy task, especially when you're a startup and you don't have that many people with you. So you have to manage your business, you have to sell, you have to pitch, so many things, and still you're not cash flow positive, right? So how do you actually plan your budget, the cost in 6 months or the runway that you have to have, and don't be with this idea of nowadays that investors are coming in, my startup is valued at 10 mil, 5 mil, those kind of things. To me, it's a lot of BS in there. Yeah. So to understand the concept of cash flow positive is so important.
Your question. Kami sudah kesuntukan masa, tapi mungkin kami boleh terima lagi satu soalan daripada para penonton. Okay.
Hi, I'm Amalia. I'm his student actually from ET College. This is something I'm curious about. You mentioned about adaptability and like how do you ensure that you don't become a sellout while you adapt to them? Like you're doing what everyone else is doing. Because like Mr. Ashan said, he was stubborn when he was starting up. Because he wants, I guess, to maintain that magic of his product. So how do you guys like ensure that you guys didn't, I guess, doing what everyone else is doing? Instead, just adapt?
And so let me try and respond to that. So let me clarify when I said that use case just now, right? Again, when I draw reference to even Kamaru punya positioning just now, you've got to understand what was the core value, right? So what we didn't do before is we had a very fixated mindset that we didn't decouple some of the product suites, as how he puts it across just now, right? And at that time, you know, we had this level of cockiness, I guess, to some extent, that we were horizontal play and whatever it is, whereas we could have designed the horizontal layer, worked with the customer on the vertical layer, and still able to achieve the larger goal that we want. So it's not so much about sacrificing whatever your aspirations are, right? But knowing that if there's an opportunity, how do you take that opportunity, right? Contextualize to what's your core plan, see how can that help the short term and the long term, right? So it's not selling out. Don't get me wrong with regards to that. But you've got to be smart enough, right? When we talk about agility, you understand what your core goal on why you started that venture. You understand why you actually need, but a reflection is required. It is not as easy as that. Again, this kind of conversations always sound super easy, but it is also not that easy, right? But it shouldn't be selling out of what you want to do, right? It's really decoupling it, leverage that as short-term cash flow because that helps in driving the business through, but making sure that when you're doing that, you're able to then still pursue whatever it is that you're going to pursue.
Terima kasih para panelis kerana sudi untuk berkongsi pada malam ini dan juga terima kasih kepada para penonton untuk bersama kami pada malam ini juga dan tidak lupa sekali lagi terima kasih kepada ODC untuk menaja lokasi pada malam ini. Jadi terima kasih dan kami serahkan kembali kepada pengerusi majlis.
Baik, seterusnya, terima kasih Syasha Jamal sebagai tanda penghargaan dan juga terima kasih daripada kami. Kami menjemput Encik Nur Azman Yusof, Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Channel W untuk memberi ataupun menyerahkan cenderahati kepada ketiga-tiga panelis kami sebagai tanda kenangan dan juga untuk sesi bergambar. Silakan. Terima kasih Encik Azman. Maka dengan ini berakhirnya Majlis Wacana Ilmu Inspirasi Ada Wawasan. Bagi siri pertama kami ingin merakamkan ucapan terima kasih tidak terhingga kepada barisan panelis Saudara Kamaru Muhammad, Saudara Yusno Yunus, Saudara Ashran Datuk Ghazi. Terima kasih juga kepada ODC di atas tajaan lokasi, juga rakaman terima kasih kepada semua yang hadir, kepada SMEs, ahli perniagaan, startup, usahawan muda dan tidak dilupakan kepada mahasiswa-mahasiswi di atas kehadiran pada majlis malam ini.
Teruskan bersama kami di Channel W yang boleh ditonton di saluran 634 Unify TV TM pada setiap hari Isnin hingga Jumaat bermula jam 5 petang hingga 11 malam yang akan memaparkan beberapa segmen menarik antara inspirasi dan talking points yang dihoskan oleh Syahja Jamal pada jam 5 petang, Capital News oleh Trushna Patel bermula jam 7.30 petang. Fokus hari ini setiap hari jam 8 malam bagi berita dan perkembangan semasa. Relax AW yang dihoskan oleh Puteri Ashikin pada jam 9 malam dan Studio Malam bagi perbincangan mengupas isu semasa mengenai politik, ekonomi, sosial serta topik hangat yang dihoskan oleh saya Fitri Hazim dan rakan pengacara balik saya Nazir Najib. Serta program terbaru dari kami iaitu WhatsApp di Channel W. Jumpa lagi. Assalamualaikum dan selamat malam.